Hi, this is Sandeep Sagar. Today, we are here for the third class of HTML session which we are having, and the day two video is already uploaded in our YouTube channel Tech Diksha. So you can go and view that videos, and also you will find day one videos also. So go through the video. Any questions and any issues according based on the code and everything, let us know. We will help you out on that. So today, we have a third day, and today we will be going through the form designing of from the HTML. Like basically we have in class in day one and day two we have gone through the divs and the table design, the div design, other tags which HTML has. So today, at end of the this will be the end of the session, and in this session we went through all the designings and everything. The last part which will be covered is form designing. So form designing is basically important because in all the project in web, or if you say any desktop project or anywhere, we need some forms to be filled down. If it's a registration form, or if it is you can say a CV upload, or you can say a grocery or Flipkart, anywhere. Okay, so you need some forms to be filled, maybe address, maybe your personal detail, maybe your registration detail. So that form are very important in each of the project. So today we will be going through that, and then there are some special tag for radio button, for text boxes, for calendar, and file uploads, and password securities and these all. So we will go through that. So let's first start. What are the tags in HTML for the form designing? Okay, so basically we start with input tag. Okay, and we have many types of input tag. Okay, so I will go with one by one on few of them. Okay, for example, if we want to write some text, okay, then input type will be text. Okay, so if we refresh the page, you will file a text. You can write some text here. Okay, you can write whatever you want, you can write the numbers and everything. So input type, you just need to write the input tag, and you need to give the type. Okay, so based on the type, the HTML renders its the code itself. Okay, so for example, if we want to give a radio button, okay, so then the input type will be radio. And same, if we let me put a br so that it comes in second next line. Also let me give br here. Another, if I do with radio type checkbox. Okay, so if I refresh the page, you will see this is a text box, this is a radio button, this is a checkbox. Okay, so just based on one tag input, and just the type changes. Okay, so as the type changes, the design and the code internal also changes, like it becomes radio when we give the type radio. If it is checkbox, we need to give checkbox. Also there are some calendar also, and also some, you can say, color, date picker, file upload, and everything, buttons also. So if we want any calendar view for, for example, for inputting a date of birth. Okay, so we can give type date. Okay, so it's just doing that, you will see a calendar will come. Okay, it's very simple here in HTML. Like whatever you want, you have year and everything selection, and like if you put on today, it will be today. If you give any date, like it's a date. Okay, also if we want some color picker, maybe in some website or in some filter, you need a, you need to buy something with red color, like in e-commerce site, so we can give a color picker there, so they can choose their color and do the filter. So see, you have a color picker, and you can select the color, and it will be on like that. Okay, also if you have done some shopping or something, you will see a range like price range. Okay, so in the input tag we have one type called range. Range, if we do that, so a range will come. We can put the price and the label and this all. We can put the values here in the range. So we can put a range also. Also there are some like file upload, file uploader also in input. If we can give for the image upload for profile picture or so many document, so we can have type. Okay, and we can have upload, file upload. You can have like file. Okay, so it's a file uploader. You can upload the image. See, you can choose your file, and whatever file you want you can upload it, and like uh, you can do a submit of the file scan. Like basically Gmail have this feature, and also any of the website having a registration log, any student registration or anywhere you need to upload the file. So this is a file uploader. Also there are lots of other tags also, like for example if we have input type, so there are see button, it is checkbox, color, date, date time. Here like the one which I showed with date, if we do date time, then you will find that date and time both selector will come. Okay, so if I put one second, if I put date time input tag date time local, okay, and do a refresh, see date time local. So you can select the date also. Maybe you need to book a like for example any taxi at that time. Okay, or you need to set an alarm or anything, like you need to schedule a meeting. Okay, or you need to like specific a date of birth, like with date and your birth time. So you can select a time am pm, and like you can do in it, so it will give you a date time filter here. Okay, and so there are date time local, email, you can set an email, file uploader, hidden field. Basically hidden field are required. You need to, if you fill any values in hidden field, it will be not shown in the in the UI, but it will be kept as a in a hidden field value, and you can use that value in all over like all over your code. Basically this is used, for example like if you are doing any edit of any form, you need to put any value there, or any id of that form, or any id, or you need to put any encryption code, anything, so you can put in the hidden field. Okay, so image tag is there, month filter, number, if we put number, then what will happen, there are this text box and this looks similar, but we can write text and number both. Okay, but here we cannot write text. Okay, we can just put numbers, or we can scroll up and down to add the numbers. Okay, like increase and decrease the number. So this is a number field. Basically it is required for any amount, or like number of CVs you are uploading, or number of files you are uploading, or like you can use this in number of orders you want for your purchasing any order. You need how many number of items you want, so it is for that. Okay, also if you have a if you have a password, so this is very important in a login. Basically all the login form has this part. Okay, see if you write something here it is visible. Okay, but if you write here it's dot dot dot, so it is displayed dot, but the value content in it is like whatever you are typing in it. So it's very important in the login form to make the view secured. Okay, also there are few more input type tags. For example radio button is there, I showed you range, reset, like if we are making a form and we need to reset that form, like clear everything, we need to do reset button. If we need to do submit, if we need to do search, let me put submit because this is very important important tag. See, submit, like when you are filling a form and you click on the submit, you need to uh, call the on click element, or you need to call a function or on click element to enter the filled form into that into your API or a database. So this submit button is very much needed in any form or anywhere. Okay, input type, there are few more, like week. It will have a week selector, like you can select a whole week, not only one particular date. You can select a week, you can put an URL. This is for only for time, this is for text. Okay, so there are like lots of tag in the input. Okay, so we can use this in any of the form builder. One important form, or you, for important tag in the form is text area. Okay, like for example, if this is a text box and we are writing something, like we are writing this is third class of HTML, we are here. So see, like it is increase that the length of the text is increasing and the text is going inside the text box. It is there, but the length of or the width of the text box is small. So in if we need to write a long description, so we can use the text box with an height and width and everything. Okay, but for this long text or long description, we have one very good tag which is text area. Okay, so this is the text area, and like whatever we can stretch it out. Okay, we can stretch it out according to our need by filling the form. But when we refresh this, this is still small, but like we can increase the size of this text area. Basically what we have, we need to set rows, how many rows, like this text area deals in row and column. Okay, so row means the height of this will increase. See the height 10, like it is, this is like 10 rows, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So it is 10 enter, so you can see 10 rows here. And if we increase the columns, so we need to give call, for example 30. Okay, so the width will increase. If we give more, if our form has more large, so we can give like for example 100. Okay, then if we refresh, so see it will become, still we can get small, and so it is very flexible. And like if you write anything, we can do enter like this. Okay, so it's very easy in long description and or on long title or something to be written on. So this is a very good tag for description purpose. Okay, next a very important tag is label. Okay, we use label just for displaying some text. Like if we have a form and we need to display a label like name. Okay, so we can use paragraph, no problem with that. Okay, we can use paragraph, we can use anything. Okay, or we can normally write an text and it will be displayed, which I showed you in first class. But if we put a label, so we can give ID, we can give class, and we can design our label according to our wish. Okay, so this is a standard to use label and the input tags which we have. Okay, so now like most of the forms are built on based on this input tags which I showed you. Okay, so now like basically we will be going through the new making a form with some legend. Okay, basically a legend, if you say, is like a design. Like when we build a form, there is a box with a legend at the top. Okay, so we will proceed that in this class only. So any question till now about this form, any input tag you have, anything? Oh, okay. Okay, so now next I will be proceeding with the form building. If we want to design a good form with like some of the text box and button and this all. Okay, so what we need, mm, we need some legend. If we need some legend, then okay. If not, then it is not a problem, we can normally design a form. But putting a legend makes it like like more beautiful to display. Okay, for this what we will do, we will take a div, okay, and we will just write a style sheet, and we can make it like, for example, with for example 350 pixel just, okay, and we can give a background color, for example this one, anything, okay. So okay, and we need to give a height also. Height is like 500 pixel, okay. Yeah, so here is my div, okay, with width and height, and I will make a make my form inside this, like for example this is our page and we need to make a form with like legend and everything. So I think I need to increase a bit more, 500, and if I refresh, yeah, looks okay, this form looks okay. Now if I use another tag, okay, like for example we have a field set, okay, let me make, and I will tell you what is field set, and also I put a legend into it, okay, and this is student registration, okay. So if I refresh this, you will see this is the field set, this line border, we didn't need to get any border width or any border color or something. This field set itself make a field with the line over it, and this legend, see this is the legend here, okay. So this legend comes at the top of this field set and makes the form very beautiful to make. And now if I put some, now we can, now we can use some table and also some div format, whatever we need. So to make, like basically in this design we need the label at the left, and in the right side we need the text box or radio button as submit button, like this. We can use table design or we can use div, whatever we need. So as I have told, div is very good to use and to handle with responsive and everything. So we will take a div, okay, and we can do style for we either we can do style with 100% or we can leave as it is, okay. So let's give with 100%, style with 100%, and inside this let me put one div. This one will be at the left and this one will be at the right, okay. So here let me define the width of it, maybe 30%, okay, and this becomes 70%. Also we need left and right, then we need float this to left, as I have already told in previous class. We need float so that the div stands side by side, and float left also in this, okay. So we have two sections. Now I will put a label here and make it name, okay, and input type text box, something like. And now if I refresh the page, you see name here, and this is the text box name, and so we can proceed on like this, whatever we need. If we need another, we can just copy this one, okay. We can just copy this part and make a new element. For example, if it is you can say address, okay, and here we can use our text box also, or we can use our text area, whatever we want. So address if we want, so we need to use text area, it will be good to have. And we can have columns as 20, and rows we can have 15, for example. If we refresh, oh, it become more, okay, one second, rows we can get less, okay, 8. Yeah, or if we can get it more, so this looks okay. Name, address, okay. Now this is, we need a line gap, okay. Either we can use padding into this div, or we can use a break element, whatever we need, okay. Or we can put a style sheet of line height, okay. For example, in the main div, this is our main div above this, so we can have a line height, okay. If we give a line height of something as normal, okay, and if we refresh, and also we, or we can give 10, line height 10. So see, it is like very much to the line height. This is taking each line into 10, so we need hardly, I can say 1, yeah, or maybe 2, I think will be good in this form. Yeah, 2. So this has break a bit. So what we can do, we can make it this div also float left, the child div also float left, okay, and this also float left, okay. So if we do, so this looks okay. So whatever I am doing the designs or inline css, we can make a css of it also, or or we can do like this in the first and second class which I have given, like we can make a class and we can use that. So let me make a small form, and then I will replace this style sheet or a style with a class, okay. So now we can have a date of birth, so we can copy this part, okay, for example, and we can have DO date of birth, and here we can have date, okay. If we refresh, so we have a date. And now if we want a submit button, if we want to submit a form, okay, so in this case we can again copy this, div, and in the left section we don't want anything, so we can remove this part, and here we can have submit, okay. So if you see, this submit is there, but there is no gap, because I have put in the second column, like basically this I am putting as a first column and this is second column. So in the first, if you see, we have given 30%, but still this gap is not taking the 30% of this, that the submit button is into the left. So in this case we need to write something. So what we can do, add BSP. This is a space. Like when we do a space, so this is code for a space in HTML. Okay. If we do, see, so here it is thinking that there is something here, a space or a text or something. So it suddenly throws this into the second column. If we don't give anything, it will treat as no element is inside this div, and it will suppress the submit button to the left. But if we put a space, like this will not help. We need to write the code of HTML of space NBSP colon, and if we do, then it's a space here, and now it's a form. So whatever form I gave you at the top, we can put anything here, like name, address, date of birth and everything, and we can do whatever we want and put a form designing like this, okay. So now, as I told, uh, I wrote this style here, okay, a style in every div. So we can make a class, okay, and we can put directly class and nothing will change with, so the code will look more cleaner and a proper way. So if I remove this old stuffs for now, or we can leave it, no problem. So what we can do, we can make a, for example, main class, okay. So this is our main class. So our main class will have this with 100% and float left. Okay, so we can just copy this one. Okay, and let me close this part so it is easy to scroll. Yeah, we can put it here with, and we can copy this class, and we can put in this. Okay, class, main class. Okay, and we can replace this main, all the main div, we can replace this wherever we have written. Okay, so if we refresh, nothing design will change. Why? Because it was inline and we made it class based. Okay, now there are more. So this is like for this div. Okay, so we can make another class, for example left class. The same we can do, we can copy this left part. Okay, this width and this float left, put it here, and we can replace this part class left class. Okay, so if we replace this one, all the left part, and do a refresh, again no change because we are doing the same. And for last, for the right part, right class, we can copy this style. Okay, and put it here, and we can copy this part, and in place of this we can write this right class. So our HTML is now very dynamic. If we want to increase or decrease or the height and width of any of our div, we can easily do in one place. Okay, we can do it here and it will be working. So if we refresh, so no change. So basically we can add whatever form tag we need. Okay, and all the tags we can add it here. We can do whatever we want on this form designing. And also if we remove this part, if we remove the height and width, let's remove the height and width of the main. Okay, main div, let's see what happened. So whatever the form size will be, it will automatically take that background color, because previously we have given the height and width by our, like our own, but this time it will capture the whatever the form height and width we have, and the background color will be based on that. Okay, okay. And next, now so these are the form designs, and we can also use the option but like drop down if we want in the uh, for example if we want to select any class or if we want to select anything, we can use that. So let me show you one more. In the previous class I have shown, but still, if you want to select a country, okay, if you want to select a country here we can give select, can have option. For example, if we have three option, country in India, I think US. Okay, if we have now we do refresh, so we will have that drop downs here. So yeah, so we can add anything, the form designing which I have showed you yesterday, like in the previous class, for in like drop down or any select option, multi select. So whatever we can add div and paragraph also. If we want to write something, if we want to write anything here in between, or we need to write anything here, so we can add it. Okay, so we can use anything inside our legend or inside our div, any paragraph or anything, or any notes if we want. For example, we need to write any notes at the top of our form, so we can use like this. Okay, so we can remove this part, we can remove this, or we can write a notes, like for example not, we can write like this also, notes, and give like something name and address are mandatory. So it will come like this. We can also make this as a red color text or background, anything. Okay, so we can design the form according to our wish. And the submit button, we can call the API. We can use the PHP, .NET, JavaScript, any code like and Python or anything. So we can use the API call or normal .NET submit button. We can use that. We can use on click and we can call a JavaScript function. So we can use this, and we can use the form values and put into the our database or the API call, whatever need. Yeah.
Okay, so Ankani is having one query. What is center tag?
Okay, center tag, basically when we do a center tag, okay, so whatever we have written in a website or in a web page, the full text will become in a center. Okay, or we have written in a paragraph, or we have written in a div, so it will come in a center of your page. Yeah. Is it a good practice for CSS point of view? Yeah, it's a good practice. Like basically whatever I have showed, the style writing a style inline or into the page, that is not a good practice. We need to make a style sheet, and we need to do the reference of that, and we need to write the CSS there. Okay, that's a good practice, because we can use that CSS wherever we want, and we can do pointing of that link, or you can the style sheet in any page. We have the redundant page, so we don't need to write anything. So writing CSS in a style sheet is good, not in the internal page. The third class we are planning for a basic jQuery JavaScript fundamentals, and also some CSS valid like CSS validation, or you can say encryption of CSS where we cannot show in the inspect element. So we will let you know on that. So that class will be basically focusing on jQuery JavaScript or form validation, a basic of that, and also encryption of CSS and jQuery, and also one issue which we face is like version controlling. Okay, like basically when we upload anything into our web portal, okay, and after few days we change the CSS, or we change the JavaScript code, anything, and when the user has already opened that page, so it goes into the caching layer of the browser caching layer, so we need to do a hard refresh. Okay, sometimes that problems comes in production. Okay, so how to get rid of that? So we have version controlling or a version mapping of CSS and jQueries, so we can put it there, and whenever the user will open, so it will get the fresh item or a fresh code, so the browser will automatically refresh it. So next class will be like small in like go through of these points. So I think for today's I am done with this. Any questions till now, let me know. And like any more queries according to this, like the basic HTML, what we have, the all overall the three classes, any query on that, do let us know, and we will try to resolve that, uh, all the questions.